people are getting to know us now too,
Yes.
and like, okay, these are the new guys. Now I'm recognizing these new guys, and it's maybe that's why we did this, just to get out and play, to have people realize this is what Nevermore 2.0 is, and who we are with now.
Moshpit passion, for the passion of the music.
Ja, herzlich willkommen hier bei Moshpit Passion auf YouTube. Wie ihr sehen könnt, ich bin nicht alleine hier, neben mir die Jungs von Nevermore. Wir werden so ein bisschen über die aktuellen Geschehnisse hier sprechen. Ich wünsche euch jetzt viel Spaß, nicht wundern, ich ändere einmal die Sprache ins Englische. So guys, first obvious question, how was it for you to play at the Wacken Festival again after so many years, also with a new line-up, and especially how was it for you to stand on the big main stage?
Fantastic. It's great to be back, of course, with the new version of Nevermore. We've played here in the past, of course, a couple of times, I believe, and we've had a nice history here. So to be able to come back and play these songs for people again has been a great experience, and it's just good to be back. It feels like home in a way, but at the same time, it's just really nice to see all those faces out in the crowd.
It felt completely unreal. I think I'm still kind of in shock right now. It's a very magical place. Like this holy ground thing is completely real. I've been wanting to come here for too many years, but I never wanted to come here. I just want to come here to play. So the happening something like that is very magical. And I think these people are created here something. Nothing like this exists anywhere else, I don't believe. And it's a very beautiful place.
And how would you describe, if you compare this show or even to the past shows after the reunion? You did a couple of first shows in Istanbul and beyond, for instance, to be back with Nevermore. And especially, how was it for you to stand on stage with Nevermore?
Yeah.
It was a very special show, especially playing at my home in Istanbul. And I live in the United States, but that was my first US, like the Turkish show, because I left so young. But it was very emotional. They didn't let us sing the entire night. They sang the entire songs. They cried all night long. So it was a very beautiful show for us. And then after that show, since then, every show was just going on IRL and every day. Like today, another emotional, yesterday, and tomorrow will be the same.
Yeah. The crowds have been fantastic for us. This is literally like what, our seventh show as a new band. And each one has been special in its own right. Like Samir was saying, the first one, we really decided to do it in Istanbul because 2/3 of the band are Turkish, and we just thought, hey, why not do this? Let's see what happens.
Makes sense, sure.
And it was awesome. It was sold out almost immediately, and it was an incredibly emotional experience with everybody singing along. And then we went on to do 3 shows in South America. We did Bangers Open Air, and then we did two shows on our own, basically, which were phenomenal. That was one of my favorites out of all of them, was the Sao Paulo show that we did on our own headlining show. Yeah. It was incredible. And, just coming on to this leg of the tour, all the festivals have been phenomenal.
Crazy.
And this is the first leg of 2 tours that we're going to be doing. After this one is over, we have 2 weeks off, and then we'll be continuing on with the unbelievably amazing Judas Priest. So we are very fortunate to get to be on that.
I just want to say half of my friends got also a Turkish background, and usually when I talk about them like metal music, and they're like, oh, that guy with his metal music. But when I said so, hey guys, there's a metal band which such a huge influence and so big, they do some kind of reuniting, and half of the band got also a Turkish background. They were like, yeah, it's a cool band, never heard of them. They can't name any song, however, they are into it, and they asked me, yeah, we'll do an interview, yeah, will maybe someone also be there on the camera. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. And very supportive and passionate people.
It's nice to hear that, man. It's cool, awesome. We're just trying to keep the music alive for you right now. Like I was mentioning before that, we're kind of doing things a little backwards, because when you have a new band, a lot of bands come out with a single and a new video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where we were just like, after we finished the audition process, we really just wanted to get back on stage and just like say, hey, this is who we are. And now when we finish these 2 tours, then we'll go back and do an album, basically. So that's kind of the tentative plan.
And I want to talk about the audition thing. If I get it right, you did over 7 700 auditions.
That's correct. Yeah.
And can you explain why you picked especially the new guys, and also how it was for you to be in the band, and also how the audition process was? Because usually I can't grab this kind of number in my mind. Like, we have these 700 auditions, Nevermore, such a huge band, and
Yeah.
everybody around the world is sending something. Maybe you can give us a little bit insight
Of course. I
perspective
mean,
from.
we didn't expect that number, of course. We expected maybe 200 or 300 or something like that. So it was pretty overwhelming to have to. Well, I shouldn't say overwhelming, but it was cool to just watch all these different folks submit their videos and their their interviews and stuff like that. And we had to watch. We watched all of it basically, Van and I, and really when Berzan and Samir's video came up, it was kind of like we just knew immediately, because you could just tell the passion, that especially Samir, because he knew a lot of the songs already, so he was playing them perfectly. So I was like, that's cool. We also heard that Samir was a cool guy, from a mutual friend that Van and I have, that knows him from his old band, Oceans of Slumber.
Yeah.
He's like, man, you got to get Samir in your band. He's a great dude. I go visit him every time he comes into town. And so we kind of took that into place. And Berzan, it was very amazing, because just the way that he presented himself and the way that he sang the songs, he didn't just go through the motions of it. He really felt it.
Yeah.
And you could feel that, I
Yeah.
could, at least when I saw it. I was like, this is the guy. You know what I mean? And we watched every single one. And the ones that didn't make it, we wrote them letters as well, saying, hey, thank you for your submission, but
Doesn't work.
it doesn't work. We were just completely honest. You want to reflect?
Yeah. I think submission process was very magical in a way for that many amount of people. When I heard the submission in the end of 2025, I was very excited to not for submission, because my favorite band is coming back, and it was amazing, and I was curious about the singer and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I kind of waited for a while, because I was thinking, like, am I worth it for this, because how much I love the band.
Yeah.
And so I sent it late, and I sent a clip telling like how much I'm just happy for the band is coming back. I think all those people submitting, they knew how powerful this band was and how emotional the band is. And then maybe someone just forget to feel the emotion. That's what I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have emotion. It's
Yeah.
like there's a lot of emotion going on in this band, and we felt that with both of these guys. Yeah, for sure.
And when you started audition as a band, for instance, there is some kind of small concert from where you played a couple of songs on YouTube. It was, I think, in January, February, something like that. And I remember when everybody was like, "Who's the new singer?" etc. And then I saw the first
The
frames.
video that came out where we were all.
Yeah, right. And played, and I saw the first, obviously the whole band. I was like, that guy, the new frontman, was like, oh, are they doing some kind of heavy hardcore scream metal? And then he was singing like an angel's voice. I was like, what the?
It's crazy.
Because he's so huge and muscles, etc. And I saw you guys live. I was live today, and I was like, wow, he got such an amazing live voice, because he's a singer. He can sing.
Yep.
It's like, where has this guy been?
Well, I can explain what happened. Basically, after the audition process, we wanted to meet everybody in person. We wanted to be together, and the way that we decided to go about doing that, and the easiest way to do that, was to find a centralized place in Europe to do it. And we found a place in Sweden, at our friend Tora Osby's place, who's a member of Conception and Arc, and a wonderful friend of ours. And so we all centralized at his house, his studio, and we all set up shop basically and jammed for like a week straight, and just got to know each other, because there's a huge reason for that. Just because Samir and Berzan have all this talent, we wanted to see what they were like as people. And can we tour with these guys? Can we live with these guys in the bus? And that answered all our questions. We immediately bonded in Sweden, and we got through and learned, I believe, 25 Nevermore songs in a matter of like a week and a half. And then we ended up doing a little mini documentary with YouTube sensation Ola Englund, who we owe a lot of thanks to, by the way,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because he
it's a
really,
great one.
yeah, he really kind of, we did it our own way. You know what I mean? We're like,
Mm.
let's do this and see how this works, you know? And he pushed us and basically filmed us playing live. And that we just wanted people to see what we sounded like. And that's how we kind of introduced everybody.
Mm.
And that's what you saw.
Yeah, yeah.
And the getting back to Bearzan, he's an incredible vocalist because he's got like not just the normal clean singing voice.
Mm.
He's got a death metal voice.
Mm.
He's got the very low
singing.
Throat singing,
singing
yeah.
thing, and just all this talent. And we want to utilize all of that for our next album.
Yeah.
So why not? You know?
I really would like to know, because it's not your first band in
Mhm.
which you are in. Was there some kind of, let me say, red flags when you talk to other guys, watch their auditions, where like, maybe it doesn't fit, and you got
Mhm.
into them, you were like, they got the right, let me say, playing guitar, bass, whatsoever, or even singing, but
Mhm.
personally it doesn't fit, because from your experience from the road, what you mentioned, for
Mhm.
instance, and also for you the other way around, to meet also the other guys that you say, hey, it's cool that I got an audition
Mhm.
and I play for my heroes, but they are new guys that I don't know them, and obviously it worked out. But do we have some kind of rules or red flags where you say, this is for me very important that this should fit somehow?
Well, it's a hard question really to answer because, you know, Bearzan is his own person vocally, right?
Sure.
He just is able to sing
Yeah.
Worrell's parts almost perfectly,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, we want to give him his own identity as well. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I don't know if I think I understand your question pretty well,
Yeah, yeah.
but you know, we want to give him that opportunity to be his own person, you know,
Yeah.
and not just have to sing like what Worrell did, you know. But as far as like reading every check mark, he got everyone, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so did Samir. It's like check, check, check. Yep, he's that, he's that. And so we had to make sure all those check marks were
Mhm.
checked before we actually chose them, and they, you know, they passed all that. You know, it was I don't want to say it was like a test or something, but it was more just like these are the guys that
Mm.
we need in our
Yeah.
band to make it proper. You know?
Sure.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think getting along is more important maybe than be able to play this music sometimes. Like,
Right.
there's a lot of
Think about that.
musicians, yeah. There's a lot of musicians, you know, they
Mm.
go on tour, a week later they come back, they're like, I don't want to tour again. And then
A lot of people aren't just cut out for touring. You know?
Yeah.
I think
It's a hard job.
we live in a world right now. There's way more YouTube guitar player than live guitar players.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's why I think that be able to do this and be able to get along, just you know, become a friend, spend time together is very important as a band. People certain times forget that kind of stuff because they don't tour.
Mhm.
And everybody can play, and then I think the getting along immediately in Sweden was a really good start for us
Yeah.
because we laugh all the time. So
There was also a nice chemistry to see, and also the vibe, because sometimes you see when bands are not
Connecting.
connecting, or okay, you're saying something's going wrong, you don't know what.
Yeah.
But this gig, which I saw from you, it was all about passion. You can see the joy,
That's good to know. Thank you for the compliment.
and
That's
was
nice.
like,
Yeah.
wow, nice to see, and that you also appreciate that the fans are coming and cheering for you.
Yes.
And I really would like to know, when it comes to the new record, you also mentioned that you are working after touring on that. But
Mhm.
was there some kind of demo stuff going around during the last half year or something like that, that you got some kind of direction, or maybe like, let's test this kind of thing when it comes to songwriting, how the band is working, if you compare it also like playing the old stuff?
Yeah, that's not really come into play quite yet. I've got a late start on that actually, because we spent so much time
Mm.
getting the band together that it's almost like, I don't want to say that Van and I got burnt out or anything, but it was like, you know, Van really wanted to get back on tour again. He's like, I want to get back out and play again, man. I want to play in front of people. So as I stated earlier, it's kind of been backwards as we've
Yeah.
approached this. But the demos are now starting to flow a little bit. You know, I've got about 6 ideas going, you know, some in the very infantile stages, some kind of complete. I think with Bearzan being able to now come over to the United States, starting in November, it's going to be huge, because when you're writing something, man, you know, in today's age, you can easily send demos back and forth via the internet and stuff like that. but I ultimately love to work in person with people. You know, you can really feel it and, you know, get more energy out of each other that way. So I don't know, in a sense, I'm just kind of waiting for that, I guess. But we want to really utilize the 6 months that we have completely to
Yeah.
make the best album of our lives, you know, and
Yeah.
that's coming up between October and March, basically.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what our plans are. We have kind of a structure worked out of what we're gonna do.
Do
A
we have
plan.
do we have maybe also thought about like, hey, we got a new lineup. We have a huge history, obviously. On the other hand, we also want to move forward. What about the next record EP, however, is like a split record, some kind of new songs, but also old stuff played with the current lineup so that the old school fans see how the new lineup sounds with the old stuff and also see what's going on with the new stuff. Or it's something like, come on, that's the past, that's a huge history, because everybody would compare the new stuff, yeah, with the old lineup, which is obviously not anymore around, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a very great thing to say, you know, but it's at the same time you have to really just be like, what makes you happy as a person, as a band?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't really listen to others when it comes to that. I mean, that's obviously what some fans probably want, but at the same time, as an artist, man, I don't, you know, I wanna make myself happy first. I I don't know if you want to add to that.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's definitely it. I think when Jeff and Van saw the submissions, that's one of the main thing I think is they saw on Herzan and mine. Because not only be able to play the songs and be able to feel the songs was the main thing that we all did, both of us did. So I feel like the most of the people are seeing that now on stage. I'm not saying we're doing anything incredible, it's just like I think they're seeing that we're connected with this song as the fans we were. And then when they hear the new songs, I think they're gonna get excited now.
Yeah.
Because most of the time when bands get a new members or something like that, they're like, "Oh, I don't feel that guy's personality with those songs," which happens sometimes. But I feel like both of us are doing that justice in a way. I think
Yeah.
we're actually living those songs. They're like, "Wow, you're crying on stage." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm loving this song."
People are getting to know us now too, and
Yes.
like, okay, these are the new guys. Now I'm recognizing these new guys, and it's maybe that's why we did this, you know, just to get out and play, to have people realize this is what Nevermore 2.0 is, and
Yeah.
we are with now. So, but yeah, as far as making others happy, I mean, gosh, it's kind of a roulette wheel and a gamble there, you know, because if you're starting to write music to make others happy, I don't really think that's true art, you know? Like painters like Van Gogh, but I don't think they ever painted something for anybody
No,
else, you
no.
know? That's always been for them in particular.
Yeah, when it comes to, let me say, the audition thing and rehearsal and also playing live, was there a song which you feared to play, like, oh, please don't mess it up? And also, was there a song like, I love it to play it because it's my favorite song? Because sometimes I have this, when I'm happy about something, I'm like, don't mess it up, don't mess it up. And then it happens, you know? It's like, oh, I'm so
Thinking too hard
stupid.
about
Yeah, thinking
something.
too hard about something. Was there some kind of song or anything like that where you thought, damn, I messed this up? But yeah, it happens, you know? We are
It's so
human.
ironic you said that, but I actually never told that to anyone. So I played the songs 15 years ago when they were more very active. I was always covering them. I was just because I like the songs, right? Enemies of Reality and Godless Endeavor, like those two songs. I used to I play other instruments except bass guitar, so I was playing those songs on a pick, and I'm like, you know what, man, I'm gonna be next to this wonderful person, so I'm gonna try to challenge myself. So I started playing a different technicality. So Enemies of Reality become like my favorite songs to play, but also in a difficult way because when you do just fingering, it just takes a lot of you. But the Godless, I completely rewrite the way that I'm playing those songs. There's slap sections and all that stuff because I wanted to challenge myself because I love the songs and it become like I'm looking forward to playing it now because it's more exciting. And also, Jeff and Van let me do back vocals, and I was doing it in my old bands as well. That's a beautiful challenge for me because I love singing. So, and those things, it's like a beautiful challenge, I will say, instead of a challenge to me. It's like 'cause I love these, so it's like a something completely new because when you start enjoying it more, you like become part of it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Samir adds some difference than say what Jim did in the band because he's a more finger bass player where Jim played with a pick, but he's honestly connecting with Van in a cool, you know, the low end, the drums and the bass,
Yeah.
they're really connecting harder, I think, than ever before in this band now, and it just has a really good tightness factor to it. So that's kind of what we're that's what we're shooting for, is tightness and just getting better as a band, better musicians, playing every day, being on stage. That's where we're heading.
So guys, there's one question left because our magazine is called Moshpit Passion. That's our Moshpit Passion question. So is there any kind of silly, crazy, or maybe even your first Moshpit experience which you want to share from your own perspective back in the days, or even from the band artist perspective? Do you got any kind of story to say or to share?
Man, I used to go into mosh pits when I was a lot younger. I'm gonna be 55 in September, so I got to be careful of that.
Yeah, sure.
These are the
Especially as guitar
careful of the
player.
digits, yeah. But when I was a younger kid, man, and there would be like shows, local shows, like like punk shows that I would go to with friends back in the day. We used to get in there, and I got tossed around a bunch, like it's a little blonde head, it's being thrown up, and it was a blast back then. But I tend to just not do that anymore. I don't know. So yeah, I still love the vibe though of just seeing it from my perspective on stage.
Sure.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think it was 2010 or something. When I first moved to Texas, I went to see Slayer live. Because they didn't come to Turkey back then. I remember losing all my clothes.
What?
Riverside said tonight too, because there was he saw a mosh pit when he decided to divide everybody. He said he saw tennis shoes flying.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
people lose articles of clothing, I guess.
oh, for sure. I mean, the mosh pit is the thing. To me, top three, dude.
Yeah.
Slayer, Hatebreed, Lamb of God. Those three mosh pits, you might die.
Definitely, even Hatebreed. It's crazy what they're doing. That's
Yeah.
probably the masters of mosh.
The System of a Down one too the other
Oh,
day that I
yeah.
saw, where there was just like
Dude, that was insane.
7 or 8 like looking tornadoes or hurricanes.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was like 8 of them going on at the same time. It was ridiculous. So good for them, man. System of a Down is bad.
They rule,
It's
man.
cool.
Guys, thank you very much for your time, for the interview. I wish you all the best. I hope to see you maybe next year with a new record, also tour again on the
man.
road.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem. And also for the viewers out there, very important, check everything down below, because I put everything about Nevermore down there. Please support them also in social media. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time, guys. Bye bye.
Moshpit passion, for the passion of music.